Well, hello. Today we are getting together and cutting this video to celebrate this guy, Steve Huff. Steve's been with the company for a very long time and is entering into retirement. And so wanted to just sit down with Steve and maybe get a couple of stories and to celebrate what he's accomplished. So to kind of get us kick-started, Steve, if you could tell a little bit about how you first came to know my father and then how you guys first ended up working together.
Okay. We were moving back to Linwood, Illinois, from Chicago Heights, and we were looking for a church. And we went into this little church over on Burnham Avenue, anyway, in Linwood, Illinois. And Gary and Chris were there, and they were coming out of the church, and they were leaving the church at the time. And we kind of got to know them a little bit. But as we were coming in, they were leaving. And they would come and visit from time to time, and we'd sit with them, and their kids would be with them, Gary.
This guy.
And so we got to know them. They were good people and all, and you know how life is. We just didn't see them for a while, for years. And then when we moved to Indiana, we were looking for another church, and we found a little church that we liked, and lo and behold, Gary and Chris and the family were there, and got to know Gary a little bit, and he eventually offered me a job.
So what year was that you started?
I started with you guys, when all that started was 1986.
Okay.
And then it was 10 years later before I started with you guys.
So it started in 1996.
1996.
So, yeah, we started like probably within a year or so of when I first came to the company full time.
Yep.
I feel like we've done it all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about the same time. Yeah, I was working over there at the Whiting location, and you came in and had your own desk.
So
And then you shared a desk later.
So when you first started working with the company, what was your initial position?
Driving a forklift driver.
Okay.
And I had never driven a forklift before. And your dad said, you can kind of learn it all. And I was working another job at the time, was looking to leave. It was a factory job, and I was working 12-hour days and all, and had kids. And your dad said, well, come over on your days off, which was Monday, and try this out.
That, yeah.
And he let me work for a few months or something. And then I decided to accept the job, and I became the forklift driver, one of three at the time. And then eventually I kind of moved up to yard supervisor.
Okay. So I don't know if most people know this or not, but you've worked at multiple locations. Like, as a matter of fact, most people that watch this video probably only know you from your last position.
In Chicago.
But so if you could just briefly kind of walk us through the transition. So you went from forklift operator to supervisor, and then it kind of take us through the next few steps. What happened after that?
I've always looked at this selling roofing as kind of seasonal. So it's wintertime, it's kind of slow. And I worked at Ray's in Whiting, the little location, driving the forklift and all, and for a couple of years, for about 2 years. And then came a point where the guy at Portage, the other location, there were just two locations, if I'm right about that at the time.
How many employees at that time would you say?
At
totally?
Ray's?
Yeah.
Permanent ones, less than 10.
Okay. Yeah.
And then in the summertime, we'd have a few more, but yeah, maybe 10 regulars. And so then the guy, Drew McCullum, and Portage wanted to get into sales, and Gary Sr. asked me if I'd be willing to run Portage, go out to Portage and run it. I was a little hesitant because it was a small operation, as a 1-2 man kind of thing, and I thought, I don't know. And he said, give it a try. And so I worked there for a couple weeks and ended up loving it. Drew kind of trained me, and I got all my experience. I worked out there for a couple of years in sales, as a salesman selling roofing. And it was mostly back then just people coming in and making some phone calls. And then Gary bought the location, or acquired the location in Chicago, and asked
2001.
me. It was 2001. Yeah. Remember it well. Got some stories about that. But he offered me that position, and I can still remember your mom saying, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Because I like the Portage job, and I said, "Yes, I do." So I went up to Chicago and became manager at that store.
And then so I won't share the numbers, but if I remember correctly, the store was really underperforming. It grew under your watch probably fivefold over the next 20 years.
Yeah. When Gary got it, it was kind of it was down, And then, yeah, the first year I got it up. I had a good year the first year and had a lot of good people helping me. We kept the same staff that was there, Gary did. And so they kind of knew what they were doing. I just don't think they were being managed very well at that time. And so anyway, I came in and kind of took over and had a real good year. Yeah, the first year, and every year we grew a little bit, most of the years.
Yeah, one thing I would say, Steve, from my perspective is well, one, I just want to thank you for your loyalty to my dad and to me. There's very few of people I trust at the same level as I have you, and nobody that I trust more. So thank you for that. You will be missed, and not just by me, but by many others. But with that being said, I wanted to share a few videos with you. So we're going to cut over to a couple videos that people recorded for you. But let's go ahead and.
There are many things about Steve Huff I have to say. He has been a friend for many, many years. One of the few regrets, other than leaving my family and moving down south, is I had a movie buddy that was as demented in watching scary flicks and horror movies as what I was. And so I look forward to getting back into that. He promised to come see me, and I look forward to getting back in that. And I appreciate all the years of service and help he's given us. He's been more than a friend, he's like a brother. And I wish him and his wife Judy and his children Sam and his daughter, Maddie, I just wish them the best, the grandchildren the best, health, longevity, and happiness for many decades to come. I love you, brother. Hope to see you soon. Be blessed.
Hi, Steve. It's Noah. Congratulations. You are officially retired. Seriously, Steve, thank you so much for everything you've done for me and my family over the years, the 3+ years I was up.
Steve. Boy, what great memories we had in Indy. No one's going to get that joke but you and I'm forever cherish it. Steve, thank you for being a great mentor, a great friend. Chicago's going to miss you. Enjoy your retirement.
Steve, congratulations on your retirement. I've enjoyed working with you over these many years. I appreciate your passion for the Chicago store and its staff and your consistent loyalty to the company. I've enjoyed our chats about houses and hope the next phase of your life is enjoyable for you and your family.
Hey, Stevie-O, congratulations and may God bless you on your retirement. There are too many memories to even talk about, but you and I, we know we had a great time at the store together. We're wishing you the best in retirement and in your future endeavors. May God bless you. Love you, brothers.
Okay.
Get back.
Yeah. So.
All right. That's the kind of
Steve.
stuff that'll tear a grown man up. Yeah, a lot of memories, and talk about a couple of those. I got a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Senior's my buddy, and I've told him, I have a lot of friends, probably with a small F, but a capital F. I've only got a handful. Senior's one of those, and talk about everybody there. And Vaudry's a good guy. Yeah, he came on and did a lot, and he was there when I needed him for a lot of things, and I really, really appreciate that. And I got to work with Senior's grandson and your son Noah. That was a blessing. I got to know the kid, and he's a good kid, so that's cool to see him. Lance is my guy, and I kind of knew from the start that he could take over for me and do better than I did, which is always I hope always a guy's dream to pass what he's got on to somebody a little bit better. And then Philip, yeah, he made a comment there about the memories we got. My goodness, I was with that guy 20 years, and back in the day I was working 6 days a week, and so was he, and I was probably with him more than anybody but my wife, and he was probably with me more than anybody than his wife. And so I never worried. I would say something nice about Philip here. I never worried about transport when I wasn't there. I knew he wouldn't let anything happen to the place. And so that's kind of cool. And Junior sitting here, embarrass him. I got a lot of stories. I won't tell my favorite story, but he's a good guy, and he gave me a second chance. I kind of left for a little bit and asked if I could come back, and he gave me my old job back. So that I'll always remember that. It kind of changed my life. The Murphys did, so I appreciate that. But yeah, lots of good memories, and I couldn't count any bad memories.
It's yeah, a testament to your character is I don't trust anybody's words more than my own family's, and to hear my father share his feelings for you and my son,
Yeah.
it says a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good 27 and a half, almost 28
It's a good
years.
stretch.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good stretch.
I know. You look back. Yeah, I was a kid back then. But
Steve, I feel like you're a part of our family, and
you guys have always treated me that way. So that was, and my family that way. So it was cool.
yeah.
Good
Don't
place.
be a stranger, and keep your phone close, because you did a beautiful job of transitioning out of your position, transitioning Lance
good,
into
good,
it.
good.
Couldn't have asked for it to be done better.
Yeah, I'll be around. I still get my discount.
Absolutely.
Right.
Employee discount for
Employee
life.
discount for life. It's on tape.
Love you, Steve.
You too. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.